Today we will be talking about a game that released very recently, a very interesting concept and a game I was pretty hyped for, that being Lucid Blocks, a psychedelic sandbox game where your goal is to survive while taking the necessary steps to escape paradise. I remember scrolling down in my recommended on YouTube and finding one of these videos featuring this game made by the developer Eric, who now goes by Lucid Blocks. This game was open to playtesters, and I was highly intrigued, except that it was a Google form, so I was like, I can wait, and as more videos kept on releasing and slowly more and more, I was losing my interest, until one video released, and it was the release date for the game, and it states March 13th. But to my surprise, I looked at the wishlist the day before and see that the game was up. I couldn't wait to show them the truth. So on March 12th, I opened up my copy of Lucid Blocks. Okay, so I actually started recording a little while after I get started. Really nothing important happened. I also need to tell you that you have to play this game on your own. Please play this on your own so you can have your very own Lucid experience and the immersion is broken. It's on Steam right now, so please buy. The link will be in the description. Or don't. Your loss. So now that that's out of the way, I give you my playthrough of Lucid Blocks. I only had about 15 minutes of playtime before this, so here I am in a forest. Already you can see my UI, my health on the left, my hotbar, with the only important item in there being this middle hook. You will pretty much see this hook literally all the time, and this weird 9-shaped vessel with some mysterious liquid inside. I begin harvesting this tree for its delectable berries. For whatever reason, every food item shows up as a fish, but I believe that to be either intentional or changed in a different update of the game. The berries do not satisfy my hunger, and so I decide to kill this fruit femme for potential food. But did not in fact drop any food. Instead, they dropped a style seed, which I didn't even bother to check if it did anything interesting. Survival of the fittest. A few minutes later, I come across a mannequin. I considered him to be friendly for a couple of seconds before he began advancing on me, and I had no other choice but to start attacking him. After he was defeated, another mannequin arose and he startled me, and I started attacking him as well. And in this moment, I thought I would be dead because if this mannequin hit me one more time, I would certainly be dead. But luckily with my trusty hook, I was able to get away, ensuring my safety as I eat these berries with glee. After slaying a sheep, I got curious for what would happen if I mixed his flesh with a fruit seed, and sure enough, I got a bubble bear egg. Innocent bubble bear. I got bored of them and begun slaying them all, only to find out that the meat that they give heal 3 health instead of 1 health like with the berries. And so it was my new healing food. I'm real sorry, but you just taste so good. I'm gonna turn you into a 5-star meal. Now about the little 9-shaped thingy, this is an experience meter. You get experience by either killing creatures or crafting new items. And sure enough, just by combining different items, you are met with this screen that gives you 5 orbs to choose from, all positive effects. The one you're going to see me choose the most is the Tiamana ley line. What this gives you is a dormant pendant. You break it open to find out that it's actually guiding you to something special. On my way, I did find this wacky creature. I knew that it was best to not engage, because I knew it would end up in certain death. I got to the ley line, and what you do with these things is right click on them and see what happens. Is he pooping? After the cutscene finishes playing, you are given a good amount of experience. I decided that it would be a good time to open up these Glagler capsules I was holding on to, and they pretty much do nothing. You pop them and they give you Glaggle tokens. But they really aren't useful for much, because I believe you can't trade with anyone with these tokens. They're really only used for crafting nice stuff. I level up again and grab another pendant. I felt like I was making pretty good progress, but everything doesn't always go well in paradise. As I was nearing another ley line, I decided to draw 2 faces in this tome, which is the only use for it, and found myself nearing the next ley line. But then, rushing down a part of my screen, was a blasphemous creature. Initially, I didn't think much of it since I didn't think it could climb up here, but boy was I wrong. It was getting closer to me, and in a feared response, I began running. I noticed that it was running pretty slow, so I thought, I could just lure it away from me. And so that's what I did and tried to get up to the ley line again. But then another blasphemous creature showed up. In a desperate attempt to kill the blasphemous creature, I tried repairing the bubble water, but instead turned into a friend one and started shooting it. I could have very much escaped in the very moment, but at the same time I was curious if friend one was working. A grave mistake. I really wanted to know if he was following me because he wanted to kill me, or if I truly tamed him. He caught up to me and hit me with an almost lethal blow. I climbed up this mountain in hopes of escaping, but I got cornered, and he caught up to me, and unfortunately, I was slain. Despondent vermin. May your death bring forth new life. I spawned right back where I started. And no, thank goodness there's no penalty for dying. Right back in the city I started in. I was on the move again. I came across this incredibly dark area that had these white shapes and this really creepy and menacing floating tarps of sorts. But they don't actually do anything. After crafting some more stuff to level up again, this time I decided to increase my faith, as I would have believed that it would make me more stronger or something. But I don't know what it actually does, but at least I feel stronger. I also acquired my first melee weapon, the mace, which of course shows up like a knife. I also came across the hate wand by combining beads and 2 bones. A pretty good weapon, but only when you are away from its explosion that it creates, as the explosion can hurt you as well. I came across this orange Taurus shape, featuring, and I decided why not fight it. After killing it, it exploded into a fiery mess that would nearly kill me, if I didn't have my handy water bucket with me, so thank goodness for that. After trying to craft stuff with more stuff, I finally came across the star of the show. Get ready for the celebrity of the paradise, the glider glove. This guy is a very happy fella that allows you to glide through the air. You will also see me use this as much as the hook, because the two paired together create insanely good mobility. I grab yet another pendant, head to the ley line, and another cutscene starts playing. He fashioned this for thee. Okay, who is he? Anyway, I grab the XP, look at my rosary, and you might be wondering, why is this rosary thing so important? Well, to put it simple, there are some beads that glow, and some that don't. By completing a ley line, it makes it so that another bead glows. And in my mind, I was thinking, if I manage to get all the beads to glow, then I should be able to escape. And then there's also the paraphernalia, which holds your equipment, and some other stats like your bloom, health, mush, and drudge, which I have no idea what that means. So I continue leveling up, grabbing pendants, and seeing what awaits me in the next one. I think I might have had too much bubble bear meat. I was doing some crafting like a regular person until one of these mannequins started attacking me for no reason. Has he seen the things that I've done? I receive yet another pendant and go to another ley line. This time I had to complete the trial and get to another ley line to complete it. It was pretty simple since I had my hook and glider with me, so I completed it with ease. And to finish this session off, I drew this very strange creature in my tome and went to sleep for real. Session 2. I wake up next to a mannequin corpse. I level up and acquire a pendant and yet again go over to a ley line and... it's another trial, but things ended up differently. as I fell into the void. Doing this will cause the ley line to disappear and does not grant a glowy bead. I surprisingly find a ley line without a pendant, and it plays the most iconic cutscene of the game, which I will play the entire thing.
Why did you wake me up? Every second that I sleep, my name the road's loading. My prayer unlocks me. Can't you see it? That's all I ever wanted. I want my mind torn into a million pieces. Snip, snip, turn me into confetti.
That ellipsis makes it look like she has teeth, lol. I acquired yet another pendant, and so I managed to get on top of this pyramid, but it seems like the ley line was in the sky, and I was pretty stumped. As for a little bit, I didn't think that there would be a ley line up there, so I decided to tower up there until I could see something in the sky, but then I ran out of Lucid Blocks. So I left it alone and started traveling again. And then a couple minutes after, I stupidly died to a hole in the floor because I thought it maybe had a special property or something. Ouch. I spawned in a random location due to the Diebucks necklace I was holding on to that I got from leveling up that I forgot to show. I just crafted it into a glider and then crafted it into a gliding tokens. Pretty much the incentive of this game is to continue collecting glowy beads and then travel to new areas like this large structure. It looked pretty cool until I noticed that there was something above me. And somehow, a part of them was reaching me. I felt attacked, yet nothing was happening to me. So I fled as soon as possible before something really will happen. And then I also found Mexico blocks. That's pretty cool. The fact that it's called Lucid Blocks makes me think that Lucy is from Mexico. Does that mean that the entirety of Mexico is lucid? I found another ley line without a pendant, and this cutscene started playing. And then I embarrassingly die because I get hit by a blasphemous creature, and then I use my hook, and then, frame by frame, I get hit by my own blue balls. Bruh. Back in the city, I decided to use my bubble wand to kill one of the blasphemous creatures, which go well. It actually drops its upside down prisma called Keela, which I found to be only useful for making these bouncy platforms. I get to another ley line, and I am transported to this enclosed area where you have to maneuver it while killing the mannequins. That's all you have to do. I get to another ley line. Oh cool, another trial. This one shouldn't be too hard. I'll just jump over Are you kidding me? After that atrocity, I found out that bubble bears have a chance of chopping a plush. I found this box that had letters inside, and just started messing with them, trying to create other items with them. Just ignore what I was trying to make here. I was wondering if these tarps can be destroyed by using bombs, so I threw a firebomb at it and blew up so quickly I got caught in the explosion and the flames, and the flames didn't get put out in time, so I perished. So it is pretty important to carry a water bucket with you at all times, because you never know when it can save your life. I found myself back at the pyramid, and figured out a way to fly right up there. By using the metal hook to latch onto a high up area, it will launch you upward very fast, and then switch to your glider and you can fly up to the cosmos. I found the ley line, let's see what this one could be. Okay. Let me show you one of the most startling creatures you can encounter. The spikiness of it compared with the whale noises makes me afraid of this creature, so it gave me a boost into the next ley line. No, he was like a brother to me. After ending the session, I wanted to see what it would look like if I reduced the pixelation to 0, and it actually made things look really good, but I decided not to change it because if it was part of the factory settings, then it must be the intentional graphics that Lucy wants you to play the game on. Session 3. I wake up in the water for some reason. I get moving and decide to craft some stuff together, and I find the sword that will carry me to victory, the Azrael. I come across this odd creature, and I didn't want to get so close to him, so I attacked him from a distance. And they actually have some pretty good drops. 30 bombs of a random kind. I was trying to get to this next ley line, but there was a million blasphemous creatures following me, and so I had to take a detour until they all disappeared. And when using the ley line, it takes me back to this trial after I messed up in like 10 seconds. But except this time I actually completed. Here I finally found out that you can right click a hope block and it will showcase a random photo right in your face. I don't think it does anything other than that. Another ley line. This time it's another trial that requires you to platform up to the sponge, but I missed the final jump and fell into the pit that had a ton of mannequins and unfortunately, they overwhelmed me and I failed. Talk about karma. There was another ley line in the sky, and it took me back to the previous trial, except that this time I actually get past the platforming at the beginning, and instead of killing the mannequins like it wanted me to, I instead used my hook to get to the end. I came across this really weird creature that was making the elephant noises, and I wasn't certain if it wanted to kill me or not, so I threw a firebomb at them, and it started charging at me. I thought this would be a tougher battle than expected, but they died in the worst way possible. I found another ley line, and it's this one that I failed a while back. So I placed a couple of blocks just to make sure that I don't die again. And once I get to this part, I know what I must do. And I cleared that flawlessly. I was expecting something to happen now that I had all the beads on my rosary to glow, but nothing happened. So that made me think that I needed to complete one more ley line before I could escape. And of course, I find myself back at the city. Not again. I naturally found the ley line, and without preparation, I enter it. and I met with this floating embryo with wings. He started moving away from me, and I tried to get closer to him, but these meteors started falling down from the sky. And so to have him not escape from me, I used the hook to get near him, then continuously kept stabbing him. Something hit me, doing 6 damage, and I realized that I had no healing items. Well, I had the fish in my inventory, but I didn't think I was going to win this battle, so I kept on beating him until I died. While scavenging for another ley line, I found that ball essence mixed with the melon slice actually gives you a revelation nut, a pretty solid item for healing, so I knew that that would be my ticket to salvation. After grabbing 6 revelation nuts, I decided to try again. Attempt 2. It was going well for the most part. I was taking pretty strong hits, but was able to heal 9 health from the revelation nuts. But unfortunately, when I took a hit, I was trying to get away from him as quickly as possible, and I got caught in his laser and died. And I decided that that was enough for today. Rats. Session 4. I wake up somewhere. I immediately go to a ley line just for the heck of it. Attempt 3. And I ran out of healing items and inevitably died. I level up shortly after and grab another pendant. In order to prepare for the boss, I will build a base near a ley line, so I can get the necessary items to actually battle this dude. I find a ley line and set up a base at this desert nearby using cut wood blocks. After I run out of blocks, I try to attack these shapes in the sky that disappear once you look at them, which didn't work. I was trying to find a better ranged weapon to have until I combined a hate one with some stars, and I crafted a faith one. It seems to invert your vision and plays this sick music, and while it was happening, a blasphemous creature showed up. I'm not sure why. I crafted a Mishu capsule. I wasn't exactly sure what this creature was, so I continued building, then threw the capsule only for it to be this tarp guy. I tried using the faith one on him to see if I can damage him in that way, but it didn't work as well. I went to go scavenge for some more wood and tools, and found a natural ley line, but I chose not to use it. I leveled up once more, and this time I decided to choose an extra inventory slot. Then I met with a blasphemous creature jump scare. I returned back to my base and finished it up. I put a cash cube in my new homely home and started putting in items so I can have more space for revelation nuts. But right as soon as I exit my house, I find this huge flying flesh monster that is peeing in the ocean. And it didn't seem like he was interested in attacking me at all. He was just kind of moving forward with his day out without a care. I couldn't grapple onto him, nor could I hit him with any balls. But that was probably because I was too far away. He seemed pretty chill, so I just left him alone to continue peeing on everything. Session 5. Final session. I wake up in my house. I level up and choose Life Surge. Really the only thing I do is collect melons, then return to my base. As you can see, I have 40 melons and 2 revelation nuts. I find the biome in which these shapes spawn in, so I kill as many of them as I can to get enough ball essence to craft all the melons into revelation nuts. And I felt like I was pretty much ready for this battle. You wouldn't even see it coming. On my way back to the base, this blob spawned right near me, and I thought, free stuff. So I murdered him with ease, and he gave me the hand wand, which makes it that you can slow down time. I just immediately went back to the ley line to battle him once more. Attempt 4. As soon as I spawned in, I used the hand and faith wand, and you could probably already guess how a slow motion boss battle goes like. It took me 3 minutes and 20 seconds to defeat him. Then after that, you become Saddam Hussein, and the sky tells you, the path unto oblivion is unbarred. When thou art ready, Will thou not walk with me? And then the credits roll. After that, the endgame is simply non-existent. Except that I lied. I decided to check out the Divinity game mode, basically this game's version of creative. Your crafting system is replaced with a creative tab, and your rosary is replaced with the game soundtrack. I just started messing around a little bit with the items, then decided to make a house, so observe as I build. I also added a flag because it needed it. And then I made a sick looking pet. Just look at that smile. And then I put the word Morshu on the flagpole. Why Morshu? Well, because telling by the creative tab, I had a limited amount of letters. I was saying that that's maybe all this creative tab had to offer in order for you to not place down anything derogatory. But while editing this video, it popped into my head that these letters weren't showing up because I haven't unlocked them in my playthrough. So the endgame is to discover all the blocks and items so that you can use them in Divinity. Luckily, I had enough letters to spell Mario and Luigi and Amogus, and also the word egregious spelled wrong, because it was the longest word I could think of. And that was my home tour. This game took me around 9 hours to beat, but it was honestly pretty worth it. Really the only issue I have with it is that some items don't show their stats, such as gear and weapons, but that's just my opinion. This is probably the best example I've seen as a psychedelic game, being very similar to Dream Emulator, and really makes you confused when you see something they aren't prepared for, such as the pea monster and the blob guy, yet still makes it feel familiar with the overworld and desert biomes. I could have seen what other things this game has to offer before I made this video, such as choosing other upgrades and digging underground, but I guess I never got around to that quite yet. Nice work, Lucy. Welp, it's about time for me to wake up. So goodbye, everyone. Bye.